When was this stuff written?
Well, the Vedas are way old.
Like how old?
Some of the oldest writings, 5,000 years old, probably.
5,000 years old.
It's a whole set of ratios and proportions embedded in creation itself. So it looks like they were using a unit of measurement that was a sub-multiple of a mile. Is that a coincidence?
No.
Imagine stepping back in time, all the way back to 3000 BCE, when the landscape of Wiltshire, England, began to change in a way that would capture the imagination of humanity for millennia. This was the start of what we now know as Stonehenge, a monument that has puzzled historians, archaeologists, and tourists alike. Its construction spanned over several millennia, transitioning through the Neolithic into the Bronze Age, a period marked by profound social and technological transformations. The most iconic phase of Stonehenge's construction kicked off around 2600 BCE and lasted until 1600 BCE. This era saw the erection of the stone circles that have become synonymous with mystery and ancient ingenuity. But what if there's more to Stonehenge than meets the eye? Sure, its astronomical alignments are impressive, but could these be clues pointing to a function far beyond our current understanding? Some speculate that Stonehenge might have served as an early warning system for asteroids, given its precise alignments with celestial events. Let's delve into the monument itself. Stonehenge's architecture is a marvel of ancient engineering, comprising two main types of stones: the hefty sarsens and the slightly less imposing bluestones. The sarsens, giant sandstone blocks weighing as much as 25 tons, were sourced from Marlborough Downs, about 20 miles away. On the other hand, the bluestones, which still weigh up to 4 tons, present a bit more of a mystery. Believed to have been transported over 150 miles from the Preseli Hills in Wales, their journey to Stonehenge's site speaks volumes about the monument's significance to its builders. It suggests a level of organization, manpower, and technological innovation that we're only beginning to fully appreciate. The construction techniques employed are nothing short of remarkable. Imagine shaping these massive stones with nothing more than tools made from deer antlers, wooden mallets, and ropes. The larger sarsen stones were carefully arranged in a post and lintel structure, using mortise and tenon joints for added stability. This method wasn't just about ensuring the monument's durability, it was also about achieving aesthetic harmony with the surrounding landscape. It showcases an advanced grasp of engineering principles that challenges our modern perceptions of ancient civilizations. So, as we marvel at the enduring legacy of Stonehenge, the question remains: was it simply a feat of engineering and a place of gathering, or did it serve a higher, perhaps even cosmic, purpose? The astronomical precision of its layout hints at a deeper connection with the cosmos, perhaps even serving as a sentinel against celestial threats. Delving into the past of Stonehenge, we uncover a timeline of discovery and insight that stretches from the curious minds of the 17th century to the advanced technological investigations of today. The journey begins with John Aubrey, an antiquarian who in the 17th century embarked on some of the first systematic studies of this enigmatic site, identifying what came to be known as the Aubrey Holes, circular pits surrounding the monument. Fast forward to the 20th century, and the baton was passed to pioneers like William Gowland and later, the collaborative efforts of Richard Atkinson, Stuart Piggott, and John F.S. Stone. Their extensive excavations peeled back layers of time, offering a glimpse into the construction techniques and chronological layers that have shaped our current understanding of Stonehenge. But it's the recent findings that have truly revolutionized our comprehension of this prehistoric marvel. With the advent of modern techniques such as radiocarbon dating, ground-penetrating radar, and DNA analysis, the curtain has been pulled back to reveal the people who built Stonehenge and the society they inhabited. Analysis of human remains unearthed at the site indicates that some individuals might have traveled from as far away as Wales, suggesting a network of connections that spanned across regions. Moreover, the Stonehenge Hidden Landscapes project has unveiled a broader ceremonial landscape, revealing that Stonehenge is but one part of a vast complex of monuments, including burial mounds and additional henges. The mystery deepens with the discovery of the bluestone quarries in Wales, pinpointed as the source of the monument's smaller stones. The uncovering of prehistoric stone tools at these quarries sheds light on the monumental effort involved in their extraction and transportation, painting a picture of a society capable of remarkable feats. The intrigue of Stonehenge isn't limited to its origins and construction. Its astronomical alignments are equally captivating, suggesting a profound understanding of the cosmos among its builders. The monument's alignment with the solstices is particularly striking. On the summer solstice, the sun rises in perfect harmony with the heelstone, casting a shadow that stretches to the monument's heart. This alignment is not merely coincidental, but suggests a deliberate architectural intent to mark the sun's cyclical journey, serving purposes that might have ranged from the religious to the agricultural, or even as a prehistoric timekeeping device. But the celestial connections don't end with the sun. Stonehenge also boasts complex lunar alignments, believed to correspond with the moon's extreme rising and setting positions during its major and minor standstills, a cycle known as the Metonic cycle. Among the many theories proposed about its purpose, one particularly intriguing idea is the asteroid detection hypothesis. This speculative theory suggests that the ancient architects of Stonehenge possessed an advanced understanding of the cosmos, enabling them to track and predict celestial events, including potentially hazardous asteroids. While not widely embraced in the academic community, this theory underscores the belief that Stonehenge's builders were far more sophisticated in their astronomical knowledge than often recognized, perhaps monitoring the skies for signs of impending danger from above. Equally fascinating is the theory that Stonehenge served as a healing sanctuary. Archaeological discoveries of numerous human remains near the site, many showing signs of illness or injury, support this notion. The bluestones integral to the monument's structure are reputed to have healing properties, suggesting Stonehenge was a place of pilgrimage for those seeking physical and spiritual healing across prehistoric Europe. This idea paints Stonehenge not just as a monument of astronomical significance, but as a center of immense cultural and spiritual importance, where ancient peoples sought solace and renewal. Another captivating theory proposes Stonehenge as a portal to the ancestors, a sacred site where the living could connect with the dead or divine entities. Supported by the burial of human remains dating back to the monument's earliest phases, this theory is further enriched by Stonehenge's precise alignments with celestial events, particularly the solstices. These alignments may have symbolized the eternal cycles of life, death, and rebirth, with Stonehenge acting as a bridge between the earthly and the ethereal. Exploring comparisons with other ancient monuments offers additional insights into Stonehenge's significance. Newgrange in County Meath, Ireland, shares Stonehenge's fascination with astronomical phenomena, with its main passage aligned to catch the winter solstice sunrise. Though differing in construction, Stonehenge's open-air circles contrast with Newgrange's covered passage and chamber. Both sites demonstrate a deep engagement with the movements of the sun, reflecting a widespread prehistoric concern with celestial cycles. Another comparison with the pyramids of Giza in Egypt further highlights the diversity of ancient engineering and astronomical understanding. Both Stonehenge and the pyramids are aligned with astonishing precision to astronomical phenomena, yet they serve different purposes and employ different construction techniques. Stonehenge's alignment with the solstices might have functioned as a prehistoric calendar, while the pyramid's orientation towards the cardinal points and specific stars speaks to their own unique cosmological significance. Randall Carlson takes us on a fascinating journey through the lens of sacred geometry and ancient wisdom, revealing how some of the world's most iconic structures are not merely feats of architectural brilliance but also vast repositories of complex mathematical, astronomical, and metaphysical knowledge. His exploration suggests that the ancients had a grasp of the cosmos and the fundamental principles of reality that goes far beyond what we often give them credit for. This idea nudges us towards rethinking the old knowledge and pondering its relevance in today's scientific and philosophical realms. Take, for example, the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's not just a wonder of the ancient world for its sheer size and durability, but also for how it embodies the principles of sacred geometry. Carlson points out that the pyramid might encode significant mathematical constants like pi and the golden ratio, essential for understanding circular geometry and the aesthetics of proportion, respectively. The notion that the pyramid's dimensions could reflect such profound mathematical concepts suggests an architectural aim intertwined with deep symbolic meaning, possibly mirroring the ancient Egyptians' cosmic understanding and their view of the universe's order. But the Great Pyramid is just the starting point. Carlson dives deeper, suggesting that ancient constructions were intentionally designed to convey wisdom about the cosmos and the very structure of reality. The alignment of many ancient structures with celestial bodies, the harmonic principles reflected in their dimensions, and the metaphysical insights they offer all hint at a sophisticated ancient understanding of numerical relationships and their resonance with the cosmos. These structures could thus be seen as keys to unlocking the mysteries of reality, embodying a worldview that perceived the universe as an interconnected whole, governed by geometric and mathematical laws. One of the most intriguing aspects of Carlson's theory is the idea of a global grid of sacred sites, connected through energy lines or ley lines. This concept extends beyond the Great Pyramid to include other monumental sites like Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, and the Nazca Lines. According to this theory, these sites were not randomly chosen but strategically placed to tap into the Earth's natural energies for spiritual, healing, or knowledge-enhancing purposes. This global network suggests a sophisticated, perhaps even universal understanding of Earth's energies and their importance to human consciousness and civilization, an understanding that may have been deliberately concealed or lost over millennia. Through Carlson's eyes, we're invited to look at ancient structures not just as relics of the past, but as beacons of a lost wisdom that understood the deep connections between geometry, astronomy, and the very fabric of reality. His theories encourage us to reconsider the ancients' capabilities and the profound knowledge that may have been encoded in the monumental legacies they left behind.
You had survivors of two types. Those who survived by the luck of the draw, and those who survived because they knew it was going to happen. They planned for it, they prepared for it.
You think they knew it was going to happen?
I think we could make a strong argument that somebody did know.
The Nibiru cataclysm theory and Randall Carlson's repeating cataclysm theory both delve into the realm of catastrophic events impacting Earth, yet they stem from markedly different foundations and implications.
Now what we do is we throw some type of an impact into the mix. It seems to fill gaps that were, at this point, still unexplained.
The Nibiru cataclysm theory posits the existence of a rogue planet, Nibiru, which supposedly passes through our solar system with an elongated orbit, causing gravitational upheavals and potentially catastrophic events on Earth every 3,600 years. This theory, largely based on interpretations of ancient texts, emphasizes a single extraterrestrial trigger for apocalyptic events. In contrast, Randall Carlson's theory is grounded in geological and astronomical evidence, suggesting that Earth has undergone periodic cataclysmic events due to a variety of natural causes, including comet impacts, volcanic eruptions, and ice age cycles.
One of the scenarios would certainly suggest that there were extreme climate changes.
Carlson, a self-taught geologist and scholar of ancient mythology, argues that these repeating cataclysms have shaped human history and the Earth's geology over millennia. While the Nibiru theory focuses on a specific, externally driven cataclysm linked to ancient myths, is there a possible hidden connection between Earth's cataclysms and Nibiru in space?
There had to be something we needed to look at that triggered the extreme climate changes that we do see.
The term Nibiru is deeply embedded in Sumerian and Babylonian mythology. It's a name that not only evokes the mysteries of the stars, but also connects us to the divine beliefs and astronomical prowess of ancient Mesopotamian cultures.
So when we're looking back at Sumer, those are the people that are sort of reinventing and relearning.
Well, part of our modern psychology is to imagine that we are somehow so far advanced.
Nibiru is linked to the god Marduk, a central figure in the Babylonian pantheon. Marduk represents the meeting point of power, divinity, and cosmic order, highlighting Nibiru's immense significance in religious texts and its crucial role in the astronomical and calendrical systems of that era. When it comes to the astronomical significance of Nibiru, the Babylonians held it in high esteem. Nibiru was considered the highest point of the ecliptic, marking the summer solstice's position. This wasn't just an arbitrary point in the sky, it was vital for their calendrical system, influencing agricultural practices and religious ceremonies. The tracking of Nibiru and its association with specific constellations underscored its importance for ancient astronomers. These scholars of the sky leveraged their knowledge of Nibiru's path to guide agricultural cycles, plan religious festivals, and interpret omens, integrating celestial observations into the fabric of their daily lives. Drawing parallels between civilizations, Nibiru in Mesopotamian mythology and the Greek star Phaethon offers a fascinating glimpse into the universal human endeavor to make sense of the cosmos. Phaethon, the shining one linked to the sun god Helios, was said to drive the sun's chariot across the sky. This myth, much like the significance of Nibiru to the Mesopotamians, illustrates the critical role celestial bodies played in shaping the ancient world's understanding of time, space. Both Nibiru and Phaethon's stories reflect a deep-seated belief in the power of celestial entities to influence or even dictate the fundamental rhythms of earthly existence. Zecharia Sitchin's The 12th Planet, published in 1976, kicked off a series of books that weave together ancient mythology, astronomy, and the notion of extraterrestrial life into a narrative that's as fascinating as it is controversial. Sitchin introduced the world to the idea of Nibiru, a mysterious, yet-to-be-discovered planet with a wildly elliptical orbit taking it deep into the cosmos, far beyond Neptune every 3,600 years. But where did such an out-of-this-world theory come from? Sitchin's answer: ancient Sumerian cuneiform tablets, which he interpreted as chronicling the existence of this 12th celestial body in our solar system, if you also count the sun and moon. At the heart of Sitchin's theory lies the Anunnaki, a race of advanced beings from Nibiru, who supposedly visited Earth about 450,000 years ago. Sitchin's narrative doesn't just place these extraterrestrials on Earth. It credits them with genetically engineering early humans to create modern Homo sapiens for the purpose of mining gold needed on their home planet. It's a tale that marries the genesis of human civilization with cosmic visitors, suggesting that the advanced astronomical knowledge of the Sumerians, including their awareness of Nibiru's orbit, was a gift from these otherworldly ancestors. Sitchin's proposal of Nibiru's 3,600-year orbit stems from his unique interpretation of the Sumerian numeral system and their concept of a great year. Despite the lack of concrete evidence from mainstream science to back up Nibiru's existence or its effect on our planet, the idea has captured the imagination of many. It's even sparked theories linking Nibiru to mass extinction events on Earth, with some suggesting that its gravitational pull might fling comets and asteroids towards Earth, triggering catastrophic events.
What we certainly do see here is a clustering right around 13,000 years ago. That looks pretty evident to me.
Sitchin's work draws an interesting parallel to the theories of Immanuel Velikovsky, especially those laid out in his 1950s book, Worlds in Collision. Like Sitchin, Velikovsky turned to ancient texts, interpreting them as accounts of catastrophic astronomical events that reshaped early human history and mythology. However, Velikovsky focused on collisions within our inner solar system, while Sitchin took the narrative further into space, introducing an extraterrestrial dimension with the Anunnaki and their distant, unseen home planet, Nibiru. Both theories, while outside mainstream scientific consensus, offer a tantalizing glimpse into the possibility that ancient myths might hold more truth about our universe and origins than we've traditionally believed.
So here we got mythology, and here we have scientific evidence that Earth was blasted.
As the Mayan long count calendar ticked down to its final days in December 2012, the world was abuzz with talk of apocalyptic predictions. Central to the frenzy was the mysterious planet Nibiru, a rogue celestial body rumored to be on a collision course with Earth. This blend of ancient prophecy, modern-day conspiracy, and astronomical speculation had people everywhere wondering if we were on the brink of cataclysmic destruction. The idea was that Nibiru, invisible to astronomers yet somehow detected by those in the know, would either smash into Earth or come close enough to wreak havoc through its gravitational pull. NASA, stepping into the fray, did something quite unexpected for a scientific organization. It directly addressed these doomsday predictions. The space agency was clear. There was no evidence of Nibiru, nor any celestial threat looming on the horizon. If a planet were barreling towards us, it would have been spotted by countless eyes scanning the skies, both professional and amateur. NASA's extensive sky surveys, including those by the Wide-Field Infrared Survey Explorer, had turned up nothing that could be the mythical Nibiru. Enter Randall Carlson, a self-taught geologist with a penchant for catastrophism. Carlson has delved deep into Earth's geological record, uncovering evidence of repeated cataclysmic events that have dramatically reshaped our planet. From rapid climate shifts to massive floods and comet impacts, his research paints a picture of Earth's tumultuous history and its impact on human civilization. This is where things get interesting. Could a hypothetical Nibiru fit into this pattern of cataclysms? Some might speculate that if Nibiru existed, its elongated orbit could coincide with these catastrophic periods, possibly acting as a gravitational catalyst for comet showers or other disruptive events. The broader scientific community, however, frames these cataclysms within the context of natural Earth processes and known astronomical phenomena. Events like asteroid impacts, supervolcanic eruptions, and ice age cycles are recognized as part of Earth's dynamic history, but are attributed to natural causes rather than the influence of an unseen planet. The dialogue between speculative theories like Nibiru and the scientific exploration of Earth's cataclysmic past, as undertaken by researchers like Carlson, underscores our fascination with cosmic disasters. It reflects a deep-seated curiosity about the forces that have shaped and continue to influence our planet. While one path ventures into the realm of myth and pseudoscience, the other seeks to unravel the mysteries of our world through the rigorous lens of geology and astronomy. Together, they highlight our ongoing quest to understand the cataclysmic events that mark Earth's history and the cosmic ballet that plays out above us.
The archaeologists and the prehistorians, people are looking at that, have failed to take into account the severity of these events we're talking about. You don't realize the extent of the total remodeling of this planetary surface that took place. Because the question always is, where are the artifacts? Where's the pottery? Where is the evidence that this civilization existed?
Randall Carlson's theory about advanced ancient civilizations is truly fascinating and a bit of a departure from what we usually hear in mainstream archaeology. He's suggesting that highly sophisticated societies might have existed tens of thousands of years ago, way before the traditional cradles of civilization like Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, and China came into the picture. Imagine civilizations thriving before or even during the last ice age, which wrapped up around 11,700 years ago. That idea alone pushes back the conventional timeline of human development by several thousand years. Now, when you look at the evidence Carlson brings to the table, it's primarily centered around those massive and mystifying megalithic structures scattered across the globe. Take the pyramids of Giza, for example. Their alignment with the stars of Orion's belt and the precision of their construction is just mind-blowing. Or Stonehenge, with its solstitial alignment standing there on the Salisbury Plain.
Two of these shafts go all the way through the body of the pyramid and exit on the outside and actually point at particularly significant stars.
These structures suggest that the people who built them had a far more advanced understanding of astronomy than we usually give them credit for. Carlson dives into the engineering and architectural skills of these ancient builders. He talks about how they constructed these massive stone structures, some involving stones weighing several tons. Just think about the logistics of transporting and precisely placing these enormous stones over great distances. It indicates a level of engineering know-how and physical physics that seems way ahead of their time. Now moving on. Randall Carlson's theory about ancient civilizations is absolutely something different, isn't it? He really makes you think about the roots of our history in a new way. Just consider the megalithic structures scattered all over the world.
When you account for the rise of sea level and the isostatic subsidence of the sea floor, it's not at all implausible that you had a large island complex in the mid-Atlantic Ocean.
Carlson sees these as evidence of advanced prehistoric civilizations. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, is made up of over 2 million stone blocks, each weighing tons, and they're all placed with incredible precision. It's not just about the sheer size, but the sophistication in their construction. And it's not just in one place. These megalithic structures are everywhere, from the stone circles in Europe to the pyramids in Egypt and Mesoamerica. Carlson points out that the similarities in construction techniques and astronomical alignments across different cultures hint at a possibly shared or globally distributed source of knowledge. It's like these ancient builders were all tapping into the same advanced understanding, which is pretty mind-blowing to think about. Now, where it gets even more intriguing, is how Carlson links the disappearance of this advanced knowledge to catastrophic events. He often refers to the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, suggesting that a comet impact might have triggered drastic climatic changes at the end of the Ice Age.
You may have periods of time where you have multiple impacts occurring over a short period of time associated with the destruction and disintegration of large comets.
Imagine massive flooding, climate shifts, and entire civilizations collapsing. It's like something out of a movie, but Carlson suggests it could be what wiped out these advanced societies and their knowledge. But here's the thing. He thinks this lost knowledge didn't just vanish. According to Carlson, it lived on in myths, legends, and religious texts, which he sees not just as stories but as historical records. Take the flood myths, for example, like Noah's Ark or the Epic of Gilgamesh. Carlson sees these as allegorical references to actual historical events, like massive post-glacial flooding. He believes that remnants of knowledge from these advanced civilizations were passed down through generations, albeit in a fragmented and symbolically encoded way. Moving back to megalithic structures, Randall Carlson's work on the astronomical alignments of megalithic structures is like peeling back layers of history to reveal the deep astronomical knowledge of ancient civilizations. Take the megalithic temples of Malta, Hagar Kim, and Manajra, for instance. These structures aren't just old, they're among the oldest freestanding structures in the world, dating back to around 3,600, 3,200 BC. What's really remarkable about them is how they demonstrate an intricate understanding of celestial movements, particularly the solar cycle. When you look at these temples, especially during the equinoxes, it's like watching a celestial dance choreographed by ancient architects. At Manajra on the equinoxes, the sunlight filters through a specific aperture, illuminating an inner stone slab. It's this incredible precision that highlights how the builders weren't just stacking stones, they were aligning them with celestial events, marking the change of seasons with architectural precision. But it's not just about alignments. The architectural design itself is a marvel.
Some reference to such an event can be traced in many of the legends and myths surrounding these stars that have come down to us from nations far removed from each other.
The layout of the temples seems carefully planned to align with the sun's position at significant times of the year. For example, the main axis of Hagar Chim is almost perfectly oriented to where the sun rises during the solstices. It shows a level of planning and understanding of the sun's movements. And then there's the construction itself. We're talking about huge megaliths, each weighing several tons, placed with such accuracy that they align with celestial events. It wasn't just a matter of brute force, it required sophisticated knowledge of astronomy and construction techniques. Plus, they used local limestone, which is abundant in Malta. The complexity of these temples goes beyond just their size or the weight of the stones. They have multiple apses, altars, and intricate carvings, all forming part of a complex architectural design. The series of semicircular chambers connected by a central corridor, and their alignment with specific astronomical events. The pyramids of Giza, especially the Great Pyramid, the precision with which these pyramids align to the cardinal points of the compass is just mind-boggling. Think about it. The Great Pyramid, built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2580–2560 BC, is aligned almost perfectly north, south, east, and west. The northern side aligns to within a fraction of a degree of true north. Considering the era it was built in, that's an incredible feat of geometry and astronomy. The construction techniques themselves are a mystery. The ancient Egyptians might have used stars or the sun's path to find true north, which implies they had advanced surveying techniques and a deep understanding of angles and straight lines. It's impressive when you consider the tools and technology available at the time. Then there's the fascinating Orion correlation theory. This theory suggests that the layout of the three main pyramids at Giza mirrors the stars in Orion's belt. Proponents like Robert Bauval believe this alignment was intentional, reflecting a belief in the connection between the heavens and the afterlife.
They speak of these two regions of the sky, the southern sky with the stars of Orion, and can we move one slide up? Here's a nice view of them. They're pristine, by the way. It's really eerie how they carve those texts by hand, and some of the details is extraordinary.
With Orion associated with Osiris, the god of rebirth and the afterlife. The pyramids in this view were not just tombs but also celestial maps and gateways for the pharaoh's soul to the afterlife. The smallest pyramid, Menkaura's pyramid, is slightly offset, mirroring the offset of the smallest star, Mintaka, in Orion's belt, which adds another layer of intrigue to this theory. The design of the pyramids also incorporates alignments with the sun and specific stars and constellations. For example, certain shafts within the Great Pyramid align with particular stars. These could have been more than architectural features. They might have held spiritual significance, possibly serving as pathways for the pharaoh's soul to the stars. Also, on specific days of the year, the sun sets between the pyramids, creating a visual spectacle likely significant in ancient Egyptian ceremonies. Now one of the most known megalithic structures.
Would it be fair to say that there's an element of a rediscovery of a
Yes.
lost technology from the past?
I think it would be fair to say that, yes.
Stonehenge, out there on the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England. What's particularly fascinating about Stonehenge is its astronomical alignment and how it was constructed. The way it lines up with the summer solstice is probably what it's most famous for. On the longest day of the year, the sun rises right over the heel stone, which is set just outside the main stone circle. As the sun comes up, its rays shoot straight through the entrance and light up the center of the circle. Stonehenge also aligns with the winter solstice and possibly other celestial events. During the winter solstice, the sunset is framed by those massive stone trilithons, and some experts think it might even line up with lunar phenomena, which just adds another layer to how the builders understood both the sun and the moon's movements. When you think about how Stonehenge was built, it's even more mind-blowing. The final form was completed around 2500 BC, but it was built in phases over about 1,500 years. The main part of the monument is made up of these huge sarsen stones arranged in a circle, and there are smaller blue stones that were brought over from Wales. That's over 150 miles away. And then there's the layout of the stones. They're set up in this specific geometric pattern with an outer circle, an inner horseshoe arrangement, and those trilithon structures. The precision in the layout and how the stones are oriented show a really deep understanding of geometry and astronomy. It's not just a bunch of rocks placed randomly. Everything at Stonehenge is set up with purpose and meaning, which makes you wonder a little bit, doesn't it?
I think we're getting very close to rediscovering some of the things that our ancient ancestors were up to.
And so through this technology, they're able to move stones or cut stones or all the above?
All the above.
And even transport them?
In the fascinating realm of Randall Carlson's sacred number theory, numbers transcend their basic arithmetic function, embodying deep cosmic and spiritual significance. This theory, interwoven with the principles of sacred geometry, posits that certain numbers and the geometric patterns they represent hold a universal, almost mystical quality, observable in nature, ancient architecture, and cosmology. A cornerstone of this theory is the examination of specific numbers that recur with astonishing frequency across various natural, architectural, and astronomical contexts. Take the number 108, for instance. In Hinduism, it's considered sacred, and in astronomy, it's intriguingly represented as the approximate distance ratio. The distance from the Earth to the Sun is about 108 times the Sun's diameter, and the distance from the Earth to the Moon is roughly 108 times the Moon's diameter. This pattern appears too frequently to be mere coincidence, according to Carlson's theory, suggesting an underlying cosmic order. Carlson's theory further delves into the realm of sacred geometry, exploring how shapes like the flower of life, the Fibonacci spiral, and the golden ratio, approximately 1.618, are fundamental to understanding the structure of the universe. These patterns are found everywhere in nature, from the arrangement of leaves on a stem to the spirals of galaxies. The golden ratio, in particular, is seen in the proportions of the Parthenon in Greece and the Great Pyramid of Giza, indicating that ancient architects might have employed these as sacred proportions to mirror the harmony found in nature. In exploring ancient architectural marvels, Carlson points out how these structures were often aligned with astronomical phenomena. For example, the Great Pyramid of Giza aligns with the cardinal points of the compass, while Stonehenge aligns with the solstices. These alignments are not arbitrary but deliberate, indicating a sophisticated understanding of celestial movements. This knowledge, coupled with the use of sacred numbers in their design, suggests that these ancient structures were more than just physical edifices. They were constructed with a deep understanding of and connection to the cosmos. Moreover, Carlson's theory touches upon the idea that ancient civilizations might have encoded this knowledge of sacred numbers and geometry into their myths and religious texts. This idea proposes that stories and symbols from ancient texts are not just folklore or religious dogma, but are allegorical representations of profound scientific and astronomical knowledge. Venturing further into Randall Carlson's exploration of sacred numbers, we enter the realm of sacred geometry, a concept that suggests the universe itself is constructed on geometric principles. This intriguing notion posits that certain geometric shapes and patterns are foundational to the physical world. From the microcosm of atomic structures to the macrocosm of galaxies. Central to the idea of sacred geometry is the concept of the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. Often symbolized by the spiral pattern seen in galaxies, hurricanes, and even the structure of DNA. The Fibonacci sequence, a series of numbers where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, manifests in the natural world in surprising ways. For instance, a pattern of seeds in a sunflower follows this sequence, leading to the formation of a spiral that adheres to the golden ratio. Carlson's theory explores how this ratio, approximately 1.618, is not just a mathematical curiosity, but a fundamental characteristic of the universe. This divine proportion is found in the shells of snails, the structure of human faces. It's as though this ratio represents a cosmic blueprint for aesthetic and structural perfection. In the realm of astronomy, sacred geometry is evident in the orderly patterns of planetary orbits and the distribution of galaxies in the cosmos. The intricate dance of celestial bodies follows predictable geometric paths, suggesting a harmonious and orderly universe that resonates with the principles of sacred geometry. Delving deeper into Randall Carlson's sacred number theory, we encounter the mesmerizing world of ancient civilizations and their seemingly intentional alignments with cosmic phenomena. This segment explores how various ancient structures around the world are not just feats of architectural grandeur, but also sophisticated astronomical observatories, revealing a profound understanding of celestial mechanics. One of the most iconic examples is the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. According to Carlson's theory, this pyramid is not only a marvel of engineering, but also a structure deeply embedded with astronomical significance. The pyramid's sides are closely aligned to the cardinal points of the compass, and the structure's dimensions are said to be a scale model of the Earth, incorporating the sacred numbers and geometrical patterns reflective of the cosmos. This alignment and incorporation suggest that the ancient Egyptians had a profound understanding of the Earth's size and shape, and its place in the solar system. Moving to Stonehenge in England, this prehistoric monument is another exemplar of ancient cosmic alignment. The arrangement of its massive stones aligns perfectly with the solstices, indicating a deep knowledge of the solar cycle. These alignments might have been used for ceremonial purposes, agricultural planning, or as a way to mark the passage of time. The precision of these alignments baffles modern scientists, given the technological limitations of the era. Carlson also points to the ancient city of Teotihuacan in Mexico, where the layout of the city and its pyramids mirrors the positions of celestial bodies. The Pyramid of the Sun, Pyramid of the Moon, and the Temple of the Feathered Serpent form a complex that aligns with specific points in the sky, suggesting a sophisticated understanding of astronomy by the Teotihuacans. These alignments and architectural feats are not confined to a single region, but are a global phenomenon. From the Nazca lines in Peru, vast geoglyphs in the desert which some theorize to be aligned with constellations, to the megalithic temples of Malta, whose orientations align with astronomical events, ancient structures around the world show a pattern of cosmic integration. Carlson theorizes that this widespread phenomenon indicates a universally shared understanding of astronomy among ancient civilizations. This knowledge, he suggests, might have been used not just for practical purposes like agriculture, but also for deeper spiritual or metaphysical reasons. The precise nature of these alignments and constructions implies that ancient societies had a holistic view of the Earth and the cosmos, seeing themselves as an integral part of a larger cosmic order. In the intriguing exploration of Randall Carlson's sacred number theory, we find a compelling intersection between ancient mythologies and geological evidence, particularly concerning the narrative of a great flood. This segment delves into how Carlson connects the dots between geological data and the flood myths prevalent in various cultures, suggesting a catastrophic event in Earth's history that left an indelible mark on human consciousness. Across numerous civilizations, from the Mesopotamian epic of Gilgamesh to the biblical story of Noah's Ark, there are strikingly similar tales of a massive flood that wiped out most of humanity. Carlson investigates these myths not as mere allegorical tales, but as potential historical records of actual events. He points to geological evidence of significant climatic shifts and catastrophic flooding at the end of the last ice age, around 11,600 years ago. This period, known scientifically as the Younger Dryas, is characterized by sudden cooling followed by rapid warming, which could have led to massive glacial melting and rising sea levels. Supporting this theory is the discovery of large-scale geological features that are indicative of massive flooding. For instance, the scablands in the Pacific Northwest of the United States show evidence of having been carved by massive, swift flows of water far beyond what could be caused by normal riverine processes. These features include large channels cut into the bedrock, known as coulees, and giant ripple marks, which are difficult to explain without invoking catastrophic flood events. Carlson posits that such a flood could have been triggered by a variety of factors, including comet impacts that led to rapid melting of ice caps, causing a sudden and dramatic rise in sea levels. This hypothesis is bolstered by evidence of extraterrestrial impact events, such as high concentrations of iridium and nanodiamonds found in geological layers dating to the Younger Dryas period. The implications of this theory are profound. If true, it suggests that many of the great flood myths are not mere stories, but are based on real events that had a catastrophic impact on prehistoric human civilizations. This perspective also underscores the fragility of human societies in the face of dramatic environmental changes. Moreover, Carlson's exploration highlights the interconnectedness of mythology, geology, and astronomy. By linking geological evidence with ancient narratives, he presents a compelling case for re-examining our understanding of ancient history and the forces that have shaped the development of human civilization. And as always, thanks for watching our video today.
They had a tradition that at that time, the world had been previously destroyed. And they dreaded lest a similar catastrophe would, at the end of a cycle, annihilate the human race. It's features like this that are just unequivocal in terms of realizing that this really happened. Human sacrifices were offered while the entire population passed the night upon their knees awaiting their doom. These people imagined the world would end.
The Younger Dryas period, named after the Dryas octopetala flower which thrived in cold conditions and became common in Europe during this time, presents a fascinating chapter in Earth's history. This period, spanning approximately from 12,800 to 11,500 years ago, marks a transition from the late Pleistocene to the early Holocene. It's characterized by a dramatic downturn in temperature, disrupting the gradual warming trend following the last glacial maximum, the coldest phase of the last ice age. This abrupt shift led to a drop in temperatures estimated to be between 2 to 6 degrees Celsius in a relatively short time.
When the world went cold again during the Younger Dryas, the meltwater flowing from the glaciers into the oceans declined if it didn't stop altogether. And then about 1,300 years later, boom, it started up again. And that gave us meltwater pulse 1b.
The effects of the Younger Dryas were not just confined to the North Atlantic region, but were felt globally, with evidence of climatic changes found in Asia, South America, and even the Southern Hemisphere. The resulting cold and dry conditions had a significant impact on vegetation patterns, ecosystems, and human populations dependent on hunting and foraging. Adding to the intrigue of this period is the proposed comet impact hypothesis. This theory posits that a comet, or fragments of one, struck Earth or exploded in the atmosphere, potentially in multiple waves. The impact, likened to the energy release of several nuclear explosions, is thought to have triggered widespread wildfires, consuming vast areas of forests and grasslands. These fires likely contributed to the formation of the black mat layer, a carbon-rich deposit found at numerous Younger Dryas sites. Supporters of this hypothesis point to evidence such as microspherules and nanodiamonds, typically formed under high-impact conditions, and elevated levels of rare elements like iridium and platinum to bolster their claims.
The reason it's black is because it's so loaded with soot, which suggests wildfires perhaps on a global or at least a hemispheric scale that preceded the tremendous flooding that followed in its wake.
Charcoal and soot layers in geological records also align with this time frame, suggesting extensive burning. However, the hypothesis is not without its challenges and controversies. One major point of contention is the absence of a clear impact crater, typically expected from such an event. Proponents argue that the comet might have disintegrated in the atmosphere or struck an ice sheet, leaving no obvious crater. Additionally, critics propose alternative explanations for the climatic shift, such as changes in ocean circulation patterns or volcanic activity. The debate continues as the evidence for a comet impact, while compelling, is not universally accepted. The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, which suggests a comet impact around 12,800 years ago, is a topic that really captures the imagination with its blend of geological mysteries and climatic upheaval. At the heart of this hypothesis is an array of geological evidence. For instance, nanodiamonds, these tiny diamonds formed under extreme pressure, have been found across North America, Europe, and parts of Asia in sediment layers dating back to the Younger Dryas period. Their presence in such widespread locations hints at a high-energy event on a global scale. Similarly intriguing are microspherules, small spherical particles often linked to extraterrestrial impacts or volcanic eruptions. The high concentrations of these particles found in the Younger Dryas boundary layers further point to a large impact event. But there's more. We see other materials like elevated levels of iridium, rare on Earth but common in meteorites, and magnetic grains containing iridium. Plus, the discovery of soot and carbon-rich layers in these same sediments suggests widespread burning, likely due to wildfires ignited by the impact.
Now, these shock-synthesized hexagonal diamonds only occur. There's no known natural process that will produce them except for the intense heat and pressures of a cosmic impact. Evidence of impact material and the extinction of the megafauna 12,900 years ago. The impact material contains iron oxide spherules in a glassy iron silica matrix, which is one indicator of a possible meteorite impact.
Then there are the Carolina Bays, these elliptical depressions along the US Atlantic seaboard. Their origin is hotly debated, but some researchers think they might be craters from secondary impacts of comet fragments, aligning in a pattern that could suggest a comet coming from the northwest. The climatic impact of this proposed event is just as dramatic. Imagine a comet impact throwing massive amounts of dust, soot, and particulate matter into the atmosphere. This debris spreading globally would have blocked sunlight, leading to a sudden drop in temperatures. This is exactly what we see when we look at climate models and ice core data from Greenland and Antarctica, which show a sharp temperature decline coinciding with the time of the proposed impact. The cooling effect was particularly strong in the northern hemisphere, with temperature drops estimated between 3 to 11 degrees Celsius in some regions. And if that wasn't enough, the comet impact could have also disrupted major ocean currents, like the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation, leading to even further cooling, especially in the North Atlantic. During the transition from the Pleistocene epoch to the Holocene, which roughly overlaps with the Younger Dryas period, something dramatic happened in North America: the extinction of numerous large mammal species. This included some iconic megafauna like woolly mammoths, mastodons, saber-toothed cats, giant ground sloths, and even the North American camel and horse. These extinctions weren't evenly spread across regions, with North America being particularly hard hit. Now, the intriguing part is the timing of these extinctions, which coincides with the Younger Dryas period. This has led proponents of the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis to suggest a connection between the comet impact and these mass extinctions. They argue that the comet impact would have triggered a cascade of ecological disruptions, including wildfires, climate change, and disruptions in the food chain. These sudden environmental changes might have outpaced the ability of these large species to adapt, ultimately leading to their demise. However, it's important to note that there are opposing views. Some scientists argue for alternative explanations, such as the overkill hypothesis, which suggests that human overhunting played a significant role in these extinctions. Others propose natural climatic changes independent of any impact event as potential drivers.
Now, in these events that terminated the Ice Age, roughly half the great megafaunal species on Earth died out very rapidly. All of a sudden, around 12,000 to 13,000 years ago, a huge number of fossil remains were introduced into the environment. And then at the end of this, these species are extinct. They don't exist anymore. Like it says here, each square represents a fossil specimen of an extinct megafaunal species.
So the debate continues, and the impact hypothesis is just one of several competing theories. The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis doesn't stop at biological consequences. It also has implications for early human populations, particularly the Clovis culture. This culture, known for its distinctive stone tools, was widespread across North America during the same time frame as the Younger Dryas. Researchers have noticed a connection between the apparent disappearance or transformation of the Clovis culture and the onset of the Younger Dryas. This suggests that the proposed impact event might have significantly disrupted the way of life for these ancient people. The rapid shift to colder, drier conditions during the Younger Dryas would have undoubtedly affected the availability of food and resources for these hunter-gatherer populations. The changes in megafauna populations, which were a crucial resource for Clovis people, would have compounded these challenges. Archaeological evidence supports this idea of adaptation. There's a noticeable change in human tool technology and subsistence patterns after the Younger Dryas, reflecting a response to new environmental conditions and available resources. This period also marks the emergence of more regionally diverse cultures compared to the previously widespread Clovis technology. Carlson draws attention to rapid temperature changes in Earth's history, particularly emphasizing events like the Younger Dryas, a period marked by a sudden return to near-glacial conditions after a period of warming. His perspective challenges the conventional view of gradual climate shifts and instead suggests a dynamic and potentially unstable climate system. He points to historical precedents, such as the Bolling-Alerod warming period before the Younger Dryas, where rapid shifts in climate are evident in paleoclimatic records. These events have been studied to understand the sensitivity and resilience of the Earth's climate system. One of Carlson's intriguing hypotheses is the idea that comet and asteroid impacts may have played a more significant role in Earth's history than currently recognized. He speculates that these impacts could have triggered ice ages or abrupt climatic shifts, potentially even contributing to mass extinctions. In the context of the Younger Dryas, Carlson and other proponents of the impact hypothesis argue that a cosmic impact event was a primary trigger for the abrupt climate change observed during this period. They point to geological and ice core evidence to support their claims. Ice core records, particularly from Greenland and Antarctica, offer detailed insights into past climates. Carlson highlights layers in these cores that correspond to rapid changes in temperature and atmospheric composition, which he interprets as evidence for catastrophic events. Other geological markers, like sediment layers rich in iridium or elements linked to extraterrestrial materials, further support the impact hypothesis.
The presence of shock-synthesized hexagonal and other nanometer-sized diamonds in Younger Dryas boundary sediments in association with soot and other wildfire indicators is consistent with a cosmic impact event of 12.9 Ka.
Randall Carlson's theory proposes the existence of advanced human civilizations that thrived long before the commonly accepted timeline of known history, potentially even preceding the last ice age, which ended roughly 11,700 years ago. This challenges the conventional view that attributes the emergence of civilization to much later periods, such as the Sumerian and ancient Egyptian civilizations that arose around 6,000 years ago. According to Carlson, these prehistoric societies weren't just technologically advanced, they also possessed profound spiritual understanding and wisdom. He speculates that their technological capabilities could have included advanced architecture, astronomy, and other sciences, far surpassing what is typically associated with prehistoric cultures. To support his theory, Carlson points to the complexity and sophistication of ancient structures like the pyramids of Egypt, Stonehenge, and various megalithic sites worldwide. He argues that the precision in construction, astronomical alignments, and engineering skills evident in these structures suggest a higher level of knowledge and technological capability than mainstream archaeology typically acknowledges. Many of these ancient structures exhibit precise alignments with astronomical phenomena, such as solstices and equinoxes, which Carlson suggests is evidence of advanced astronomical knowledge. For instance, the layout of the Giza pyramid complex is aligned with the stars in the belt of the constellation Orion, while Stonehenge aligns with the solstices. One of Carlson's key ideas is that these advanced ancient civilizations might have met their downfall due to catastrophic events, like comet impacts or other natural disasters. These disasters could have wiped out significant populations, leading to the loss of knowledge and technology. He also posits that remnants of this lost knowledge can be found in mythologies, religious texts, and ancient symbols across different cultures. According to Carlson, these ancient stories and symbols may contain allegorical references to real events and the lost advanced knowledge of these prehistoric civilizations.
Very little is left of the ancient North American monuments. More than 90% of the structures that were documented in the 19th century are now completely gone. And of the less than 10% that remain, the majority have been vandalized and destroyed.
Discovering the ancient Maya civilization has been like piecing together a giant, fascinating puzzle. Picture this. Back in the 16th century, Spanish explorers led by folks like Hernán Cortés stumbled upon the remnants of a once glorious civilization, with towering cities now reclaimed by the jungle.
Oh, the tragedy of the North American pyramids. There was once more than 1 million of them. Only 100,000 are left now.
Sadly, their initial encounters weren't the most respectful. A lot of Maya history got lost or destroyed, thanks to biases and a general lack of understanding.
The horrendous catastrophe of the Spanish conquest. The Spanish sent ahead of them terrible diseases like smallpox.
Fast forward to the 19th century, and there's a renewed buzz about the Maya. This time, it's explorers and adventurers trekking through the jungles of Central America and the Yucatan Peninsula, hungry for knowledge about these ancient peoples. Two guys, John Lloyd Stephens and Frederick Catherwood, became the rock stars of Maya exploration. In the 1830s and 1840s, they journeyed to sites like Copan and Palenque, sketching and writing about their finds. Their work lit up the world's imagination with tales and visuals of the Maya's grand cities and sophisticated culture. By the 20th century, studying the Maya had become a serious scientific endeavor. Archaeologists got down and dirty in the ruins, conducting careful digs and uncovering secrets that the Maya left behind. Big projects at places like Copan and Chichen Itza peeled back layers of mystery, revealing intricate details about how the Maya lived, worshipped, and governed themselves.
If you have a relatively short time frame to deal with, then searching for a lost civilization becomes much more complex and much more difficult.
Discoveries at Tikal and Palenque gave us peeks into royal life, with their elaborate tombs and stunning artwork. Not to mention proof of the Maya's knack for architecture and stargazing. The lost city of El Mirador, hidden for centuries beneath the dense canopy of northern Guatemala's jungle, stands as a monumental witness to the ancient Maya civilization's grandeur and ingenuity. Rediscovered in the late 20th century, this city has profoundly reshaped our understanding of the Maya, pushing back the timeline of their architectural and societal achievements to much earlier than previously recognized. Flourishing from the 6th century BCE, El Mirador was a preeminent city in the Maya world during the pre-classic period, centuries before the rise of the more commonly known classical Maya cities such as Tikal and Palenque. Its scale and complexity are astonishing, with sprawling urban centers, elaborate plazas, and sophisticated water management systems, including reservoirs and canals, that supported a densely populated area at its zenith. The centerpiece of El Mirador is the colossal La Danta pyramid. Towering above the forest, La Danta is not just the largest pyramid in the Maya world, but also one of the most massive ancient structures in the world by volume. The pyramid's base covers an area larger than 9 football fields, and it rises to a height of approximately 230 feet. Constructing La Danta would have required moving millions of cubic meters of earth and stone. A staggering feat given the absence of metal tools, the wheel, or domesticated beasts of burden. This monumental effort underscores the advanced engineering skills and social organization of the Maya, capable of mobilizing and sustaining such a large workforce. El Mirador's discovery also brought to light an extensive network of raised causeways, known as Sacbiob, connecting it with other cities and settlements across the region. These causeways facilitated trade, movement, and possibly acted as political and ceremonial pathways, illustrating the city's importance as a regional hub. One of the most intriguing theories about El Mirador, and the pre-classic Maya in general, concerns the reasons for the city's decline and eventual abandonment around the end of the first millennium BCE. Researchers speculate that extensive deforestation and the demands of large-scale agriculture may have led to environmental degradation, reducing the city's ability to support its population. This theory suggests a cautionary tale about the sustainability of human-environment interactions, echoing modern concerns about environmental management and conservation. Comparatively, El Mirador and its monumental architecture can be paralleled with ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom, which was contemporaneously constructing its own colossal structures, including the pyramids of Giza. Both civilizations achieved remarkable architectural feats without the advantages of modern technology, relying instead on a profound understanding of engineering, astronomy, and mathematics. However, whereas Egypt's pyramids served primarily as tombs for pharaohs, Maya pyramids like La Danta were multifunctional, serving as temples and possibly observatories, reflecting the Mayas' integrated approach to religion, governance, and science. The decipherment of the Maya script stands as one of the most enthralling detective stories in the history of archaeology and linguistics. For centuries, the intricate hieroglyphs carved into stone monuments, painted on pottery, and written in the few surviving bark paper books remained a locked treasure trove of the ancient Maya civilization's wisdom. The breakthrough in the 20th century, primarily attributed to the insights of Russian linguist Yuri Knorozov, transformed our understanding of the Maya, unveiling a civilization rich in history, culture, and scientific knowledge. The Maya script is a complex system of glyphs which had stumped scholars for years. Early attempts at decipherment were hampered by the assumption that the script was purely ideographic, representing ideas rather than sounds, much like the Egyptian hieroglyphs before their decipherment. This led to numerous speculative and often incorrect interpretations of Maya texts. The turning point came in the 1950s with Yuri Knorozov. He proposed that the glyphs were not only logographic, but also phonetic, representing sounds. Knorozov's insight was based on the use of the Landa alphabet, a set of glyphs recorded by Spanish Bishop Diego de Landa, which had been dismissed by many as inaccurate. Knorozov suggested that these glyphs could represent phonetic sounds as well as logographic symbols. This approach opened the door to reading the Maya script as a fully functional writing system that included phonetic elements. Knorozov's work sparked a new wave of interest and research, leading to a collaborative international effort to crack the Maya code. Scholars such as David Kelly, Tatiana Proskuriakov, and later Linda Scheller and David Stewart, among others, made significant contributions. Proskuriakov, in particular, was instrumental in demonstrating that many inscriptions were historical records of Maya rulers and their deeds, rather than purely mythological texts as previously thought. This shifted the direction of Maya epigraphy towards historical reconstruction. One fascinating theory that has emerged from the study of Maya texts is the advanced nature of Maya astronomy and mathematics. The decipherment of the Dresden Codex, one of the surviving Maya books, revealed complex tables for predicting lunar and solar eclipses, the movements of the planet Venus, and the cycles of the Maya calendar. At the heart of their astronomical studies was the observatory at Chichen Itza, known as the Caracol. This structure, with its distinctive round dome and strategically placed openings, served as a window to the heavens, allowing Maya astronomers to accurately track the movements of Venus, the Sun, and other significant celestial entities. The precise alignment of the Caracol's windows with these celestial bodies' appearances and disappearances throughout the year underscores the Mayas' advanced architectural skills and their capacity to harmonize their construction efforts with their extensive knowledge of astronomy. This integration of astronomy into various aspects of Maya life highlights a civilization that valued the stars not merely as subjects of curiosity, but as essential guides for earthly endeavors. The Mayas' legacy in astronomy, evidenced by their codices, observatories, and calendars, offers a glimpse into a society that found harmony in the cosmic order and sought to align its terrestrial activities with the celestial rhythm. It's a tale not too dissimilar to the story of the Rosetta Stone and the Egyptian hieroglyphs, but with a twist. You see, the Rosetta Stone was like getting the cheat codes to understand Egyptian hieroglyphs because it had translations right there. But with the Maya, there wasn't a neat bilingual text lying around. Instead, figuring out what those intricate carvings and paintings meant required a mix of smart guessing, deep cultural dives, and a bit of detective work in understanding the symbols not just as pictures, but as a complex blend of sounds and meanings. Now imagine trying to understand a writing system that's not only about what things are, but also how they sound. And that's what the Maya script is all about. It's this incredible collection of over 800 different glyphs, making it one of the showiest, most elaborate scripts you could lay your eyes on. And the coolest part, we're still unlocking the secrets of this ancient script. The Maya script's ongoing decipherment is a reminder that history isn't just about looking back. It's a story that keeps evolving as we learn more.